and they just done took, and they look kind of, these look different. Maybe I'm looking at them from the side. Look, are they, I don't know if it's a boy and a girl or, oh, thank you all so much for stopping by today. So, y'all, I got a few things planned in the garden, but before I start, I wanted to share with you what's growing on in the garden in November. And I really want to share it with you because later on this week, the temperatures are going to dip to about 33, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And I really want to show you how beautiful these marigolds are because I don't know if they'll be able to make it because marigolds are an annual. But I also wanted to share with you, y'all, that I just got back from taking some carrots that had been recalled. And what really surprised me is they actually called my phone at close to 8 o'clock last night. And like I was telling Chris, normally, a lot of stores will put it, in the window or you could go on a website, but to actually get a phone call, and I did have those carrots. I had actually 2 bags of them because I juice a lot. And so I was going to, as a matter of fact, maybe not yesterday because I've already made the juices for the next couple of days, but later on this week, use those carrots. So I took those back. We have a few carrots growing. I'll show you. But that's just like more motivation for me to continue to grow. I also want to motivate you to continue to grow because y'all know I don't like fear mongering. But here lately, either when I log on or hear about something, I keep seeing recalls. Now, I'm not to say that things can't happen at home, but I just always love knowing how things are grown. And so I'm going to turn their camera around again, share with you what's going on in the raised beds. I also want to go ahead and pull my ginger and turmeric and harvest the lemongrass and the holy basil. We got rain coming tomorrow. So I got a busy week this week with the few days that I have off. But the time is throwing me off just a little bit because around 5:30, y'all, it gets dark. So let me go ahead, let me share with you what's growing on in the garden. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and start with this bed right here. And if you're new to our channel, you're thinking about starting a garden, or you're new to gardening, or you're looking for gardening tips, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and make sure you tap the bell as well so that you can receive notifications each and every time we upload a new video. Now, I think that some of this bed, like overall, I think this bed is doing great. I'll tell you about a couple things that's going on within this bed, but everything is going to work out and it's just going to be amazing, y'all. I already know it. So let's start right here. We'll start over here with these pansies. I don't know. I just I got about a couple that's doing good and a couple, one, I don't know. I don't know if they want to start. I don't know what they want to do. But again, y'all know this is why I always buy a little bit more. Or if I start seeds, I plant a little bit more than what I think I'll need because, again, some plants just don't like it. Like this one right here is flourishing. This one, like, okay, I'm going to grow a little bit. And this one back here, like, I don't know what's going on. And then I had one that was right here where it looks like it wants to come back, but I don't know. Now, a few weeks ago, the temperatures were going up and down, up and down. And within that time, we got up in the 80s. I started these broccoli rabe from seed. And when we got in the 80s, this is what happened. This is a real finicky plant for me. And the reason why I say that is because we're in Georgia zone 8A and it wants the exact it needs the right temperature. It can't be too hot for it because it'll start to bolt. And so that's exactly what it did when we got in the 80s. But these other three did not do that. So I'm hoping we're gonna get, some little broccoli rabe going on soon. But either I am going to start something else, put something else in this place right here, and just let these continue to grow right here. So let's start with this bed right here. The creeping rosemary is doing good. We have some in 2 places in the garden. We have one here and one in a container, and we did a video about that as well. Now, the Swiss chard, I'm telling y'all, it is a workhorse. The more I harvest, the more stalks it continues to produce. And so I try to alternate leafy greens from week to week, but I have been using some in our juices, but then I also try to alternate other things. Now, some of this lettuce right here, when it was in the 80s, it tried to start going to seed, but it didn't quite make it. It cooled back down. But I have started some more seeds inside, and so we'll get those hardened off and we will bring them out when it's time. I'll just have to make sure that I check the weather. And this was a new variety of snapdragons that we're trying. This is why I have them in the front, because they only get about 8 to 10 inches tall, but they look so pretty in this bed in the front. And then let me share with y'all what I did on Saturday, because I had to do this. This is how I'm able to pick a lot of my meals, is when I see that something needs to be harvested or light is blocking another plant. This is how I do it, and this is how I determine what we're going to eat. So Saturday we had the Florida mustards, because I got quite a bit from 3 of the plants that are in this bed, because the leaves get really big, and so they were blocking light from this arugula right here, and then they were also blocking light from these collards. And so I really need to come in and clean up this Swiss chard too, because you see they are starting to flop down too. We got some leaves that are flopping down, but we also have some collards and some kale and celery that are also growing in this bed. So this bed right here, we've also been leafing off of this. Y'all, I am letting these red purple mustards get way too big. I shared with you that I like to harvest them at a small stage, add them in the salad, because they have a little bite to them, like a peppery bite. To me, it's a little bit more peppery than the arugula right here. Like, I love adding arugula to our salads. But I'm gonna tell y'all this, I'm gonna be honest. I like this particular variety of arugula, because this is an arugula right here. It just, the taste is a little bit too mild. I've been trying to use it up. That's why you see it looking like this. I've been really trying to use this up. This is like my favorite variety, and I want to say this is like the rocket arugula right here. I planted, um, and the reason why I say that, even when you pull this one right here, you can smell the smell of the arugula. This one is just like a real mild taste. Let me see about this one right here. Yeah, this one is a good one too. I think this may be the same as this one. I have like 3 different types of arugula. But back over here, yeah, the red mustards. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with those. More snapdragons in the middle. I think this is called Liberty Bronze. I want to get around to the front because it really looks good. And then we have some time here, but I don't think this is the lemon time. I'm not sure what that is. And then I had some extra bonbon calendulas. Now, again, we grow calendula in our herb garden, but those are the ones that we grow for medicinal uses. This one is more like ornamental, and I'll show you some more bonbon calendulas in the other raised beds. But I wanted to go to the front where you could really see this color. I want to say it's called Liberty Bronze. I do. The spinach mustards have been the star of the show. Once I got this raised bed under control, because it was either slugs, I don't know what was going on, y'all, but I had to get with this one. I had to really work on this one, and sometimes you have to do that. But once I got this up under control, I've been doing so much harvesting. I think that some days, Chris, it's like, okay, spinach mustards for dinner, because I don't want to start leafing off and harvesting any of the collards yet, only because I know that the temperatures are about to dip to about 33, 32. That's when they get good and sweet, y'all. And probably these spinach mustards do too, but these are so quick to cook. And then we also have some more Swiss chard in the back that we planted at a later date. And then this lavender right here, that's amazing. I'm probably going to cut this back. maybe in about a month or so. I do want to cut it down because I don't want it to get leggy. But this is the one where I forgot what type of lavender it is, but it's the one, I think it's like the Spanish lavender. They really have like a pretty thick lavender bloom. And I use that mainly for like I don't use this lavender for our medicinal uses. This is more of like a show lavender to me. So moving right along, this is the carrot patch right here. And again, y'all, I think coming up towards the spring, I'm going to plant more carrots, but I've shared with you the reason why I planted these carrots. These seeds were a little bit older. This was the seed tape. And so we didn't get as good a germination as I wanted to. I came back in again and laid another piece of seed tape down. So this is what this is coming up. But they're growing good. And this one looks like this is going to be a white. I think this one is a white carrot. These are the kaleidoscope carrots. I grow these all of the time because it's always like a surprise. You never know what you're going to get. But I like the kaleidoscope because you get white, yellow, purple, a dark red, just all kind of amazing colors right here. And again, we're going to end up pulling these marigolds and changing those out with pansies. This one is called Foxley Thyme. I just like this because of the leaf color on here. This is more of an ornamental thyme for me. You can use it, but I really love the variegation of the leaves. One of them checked out on me, so I got some lemon thyme that I'm going to replace. I'll show you in just a second. And then we just planted like some bunching onions right here. I had some dinosaur kale that we planted from seed and a couple of onions that I planted from seed. I really probably should have planted some more, but they're back there. I'm going to fill this bed up a little bit more. Once I cut the dahlias down, we'll get this filled up with some more things right here. This is one of our in-ground beds where we did the garlic chives that I started from seed, some clearance marigolds that I picked up, and this was the purple broccoli. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm just going to be totally honest with y'all. You know, remember I said that I had to work on my soil, and I see a big difference between the in-ground beds and the raised beds. They grow in the in-ground, but I really need to work on it. And I'm going to link the video to where we got our soil test back. And so I have been working on it. I actually bought some lime the other day and was putting down where the beets are. But it's like the raised beds, because we use the Soil 3 compost herb vegetable blend. We use those in the raised beds. Now, I did put some in the in-ground beds too, but you can really see a big difference. The sunflowers, let me tell you, the birds, I keep seeing sunflowers pop up, and I'm talking about in the raised beds too. They're just popping up. So I know that they're doing their thing, but I actually left them up. Like I left the sunflowers up for them right here and where we just did. I know I can bring these mustards back. I started these from seed, and when I tell you they took a hit, but now with the weather cooling down, and I put some sluggo down. Do y'all see those little white spots? They're leaving them alone a little bit, but all I'm going to do, y'all, is just really monitor it, just like I did with the spinach mustards. I'm going to monitor it. I'm going to pull these outer leaves off, and I promise y'all, just make sure you hit the subscribe button. In a few months, they're going to look like they never had any insect damage. Do y'all see y'all? What? I saw something moving. I'm like, come on now. Look at him. Just all in the mud. Okay, let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. Okay, so we got our curly kale here. The red mustards does this every day when the sun beams down on it like this, but about 5 o'clock today, they'll go just like the other ones are. We have some hot and spicy oregano. We have some snapdragons in the middle. We have tatsoi up front. This is one of the later beds, and y'all see the straw mulch. You see how it's popping up? So every day I try to come out here and I just try to pull up, like I'll just give myself a number, pull up 50, because it was worse than this. And this is what I share with you about the straw mulch that I just don't like, but it's cost effective. We got some tomato seedlings that are popping up. This was the pineapple tomato that was right here. So we got some of those seedlings popping up. And then just some random greens that we have in this bed too. This was one of the, I think this was the last bed that we planted. And so some things are slowly but surely starting to, take shape and come through. We got some rain scheduled for tomorrow and Wednesday. And every time it rains, y'all, I'm telling you, the plants love it. So moving right along to this bed, I am going to come in and cut off some of this thyme right here. I'm going to cut this back. We got more celery. I shared on a short that this one reason I always space like plants out. I don't like to plant all of one plant in one place just in case we have a pest issue. It won't take them all out. And so we have celery over here. We got more Swiss chard. I have beets that I just planted the other day in the ground. And you see I have some left. Now this is diatomaceous earth and sluggo because see, this is in ground. And I know that the slugs, I got some stuff coming today. I'm going to show y'all. I'm about to try something a little bit newer. And I know it's going to work because these slugs are just, they're starting to get just a little bit too much. Like they're being very, very disrespectful. But I didn't want to plant all of the beets, what we had left right here in this area right here. So we're going to space these out somewhere else. And then we also have beets in the raised bed. So we're going to see how they do, what the difference is, because I like to do a lot of testing. So we got some yellow and red beets here. I missed one of the walking onions, y'all. I have been repotting these right here, and I must have missed one. I have to repot those, but the ones that I potted like last week, man, they are taking off. And what I did, because I wanted this space right here, this used to be our strawberries and our walking onions, and I felt like the walking onions just needed more space. And so I put them, and I still may move them. I put them temporarily over here, and they've just been doing really good. So probably in the fall they'll start walking and bending over and making new onion plants. And then before it gets cold, we are also going to go ahead and harvest some of our lemongrass and hope to have that on our online store pretty soon in the next few weeks. And then the geranium that we started from seed. I'm going to start some more geraniums because I just love this one, but I'm going to do different colors. And I started this one from seed. I have to cut it back. I knew that it's a perennial. It's part of the salvia family, but I knew it wasn't going to flower this year. So we're going to cut that back and then see what it does next year. Now, before I get to the other raised beds where I can show you the bonbon calendula, let me tell you what your green beans are doing. Y'all know I got Brussels sprouts planted in here that are growing. Now, these green beans wanted to act funny during the summer and act like they didn't want to germinate, okay? Now they want to start popping up. And I'm like, hey, your time is almost over. So I'm going to be pulling them really soon. And then I just have some chives that I picked up from one of my favorite places, the Baxley County Farm. I just put those on each side right here. And I'm going to put, this is where some of the garlic is going to go. I think I'm going to make a new space in the ground for the garlic, but I got to get that planted like today. Today, it might not be tomorrow because it's supposed to rain, and I don't like to work with this. I like to work with this soil because it's more clay, not when it's like all the way dry, but when we've had like a little light shower and it's been like a dry spell for a while, I can work with it better, but not when it gets so wet that it's like Play-Doh or like really clay. And I have these two plants right here because I was trying to figure out which one that I wanted to put in the middle because I had to pull some of the zinnias that we had growing here. Now on to this bed, y'all. This is where the bonbon calendula is, and it really just shines right here. I just think it's so pretty. I need to come in here. I promise y'all, maybe like 4 days ago, I just deadheaded all of these because this one also had a lot of the straw mulch that was um, popping up. So I tried to clean that out as much as possible, but they're still going to pop up. But I like to pull it at a certain stage, not when it's too small because you don't get it from the root. It has to be like a certain at a certain stage to me. And so we got our thyme. I always have to smell it. I think this is the lemon thyme right here. This is the lemon thyme, the bonbon calendula, our winter savory right here. And then we got cabbages that we started from seed. This salvia, the when I tell you the pollinators love it, I cut it back and it's just doing beautiful. Also getting some more, we'll probably get a few more blooms. And then we got our snapdragons in the middle. And then this is a variety of collards that I planted from seed also. You see that I have more of the sluggo right here because I started these pansies from seed. They were doing amazing. And then we got that rain and they just came in and just really started just eating on them. But I'm going to get them up under control too. Now I had this hot and spicy oregano over here somewhere and I thought it was getting covered too much. So I just put that on the end. This oregano right here is my absolute favorite. Like it does what it's supposed to do. I planted a snapdragon here that is covering up. So I'll move that. And then this one was the one that I had to keep talking to over and over and over again. And it looks like it's starting to come back. More collards here and broccoli. And y'all, I don't know if this is the cat masuna or the spinach mustards. So this bed, some of it was like, oh, I got a few extra plants left over. Let's put it right here. Now we got our sage and then radicchio that is right, that's right here. And then I have some, this was supposed to be like a 45-day red cabbage, or was it the other cabbage? Or was it that one right there? It was one of them. One of them supposed to be like a 45-day cabbage, but like I was sharing with you earlier, this one right here, I don't know. This was the foxy time. It just, as soon as I put these calendulas right here, they just like, I don't like them. That's basically what I felt. I don't like them, so y'all can have it. Because this one really started to shine. It was the same one. So I'm not sure. Here's another one of the miniature snapdragons that we had. I love this color too. And then we put some more of, I think this is like the purple curly kale right here. Okay, so we're going to go over to the herb garden. I'm not going to show y'all everything because this will really be long. And I know I said it was going to be short. And then we'll go ahead and we'll finish up. But again, hit the subscribe button so that you can stay posted with what we're doing in the garden. Because slowly but surely, y'all, it's going to start to come together. But I always like to show y'all the process from where we started a year ago. We've been here a little bit over a year to now. And I know, I don't even think, I know that I'm doing really good. So we got our rosemary right here and our calendula. This is the second round of calendula. So I grow calendula in the spring and also the fall. It loves the cooler temps here for us. And I've just been harvesting. I can tell that I'm getting a little bit behind, but I think about 3 days ago, I actually came out and did a big harvest. But this is the calendula we use for medicinal purposes. I use it in tea. I also make calendula salve because my daughter, I'm just gonna say seasonal eczema. Even if she puts on lotion, she just kind of breaks out like behind her knees and then on her like in the like her elbow area. Um, I'm going to propagate some of this. I have some inside, but I'm going to propagate more of the pineapple sage. The pollinators love it. They're all over the plant usually. And what I have to do before it gets cold, y'all, we got to harvest the rest of this holy basil. I'm not about to, I don't care. I'm not about to let this one go. So I know it's going to rain tomorrow and I think a little bit on Wednesday, but I think Friday is when it's supposed to like dip. And so I gotta get this planted. I have the temperate, the Vana, and the Rama holy basil, and we are going to get it. We're gonna get it right, honey, because these bees just love it. And I love it too. I love it in teas. And so over here we just got some anise, hyssop, some tarragon in here, oregano, thyme, lavender. This is the herb garden right here. The lemon verbena that we've been like I've harvested so much of that. We got stevia on the other side, lemon balm. But let me show you my lemons. I did not think that I was going to have any citrus, not this year. Um, but let me show you what I did have. And I've already harvested like two and used it. Okay, so here are our lemons and limes. I've harvested some limes. We got some, which one is this? I think this is the Persian lime right here. We got lemons. And then what else have I harvested? I've harvested a few key limes. Like these two plants are key limes, but what I want to do with these pots right here, next spring, we're going to bump them up in something like this. And then we're also going to feed with citrus tone because this plant does not tolerate frost. See, I've really got to get a move on it because this is the Barbados cherry. I'm actually going to try to move them inside. I thought about moving them in the workshop, but I will have to like go ahead and turn the heat on that night and let them stay in there and then possibly, go and check on them in the morning. It's a lot of plants that I have got to move and I got to move really quick, including my soursop plant and these Barbados cherries. And it was another one that are more of tropical plants that I definitely have to move. Y'all, I just wanted y'all to look at this. I have now it used to be all of these were filled with roses. So I've planted about 19 roses and I don't know if I'm gonna let these just overwinter or what. And the reason why I say that is because I'm looking at the moonlight in Paris and I'm like, I could have sworn that I planted one of those already. But remember, out of all the roses that we purchased, only two didn't like bud out. So David Austin is replacing those, but they won't be here till next spring. But that's not the only company we got roses from. But I just happened to look over there and I was like, oh my gosh. But let me see which one this is. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to tell you the name of this one. Okay, so this is the Alnick Rose. And when I look back at my invoice, I don't know why I got like two of some and one of the other. Sometimes I don't know what I'm thinking because I knew that when I started on the rose garden, I knew that I wanted to be like a path in the middle and then you walk through. So let me show you what I'm talking about because this winter I am going to find a trellis and the trellis is going to be right here in the middle. Y'all imagine with me. The trellis will be in the middle. This is the middle. But you see on each side how I just mirrored everything. Chris got a little bit upset because now he's like, I can't get in through the gate. And I'm like, don't worry about that. We got another double gate. Well, it's not double, but if we got to make it double, we'll have to make it double. But y'all wait just a second because I just saw another moonlight in Paris. No, cathedral bells. Okay, see, I'm lying. I planted two of the cathedral bells right here. And then we just went and I've got to mold. But I've started. Which is good. So we got 18, 20 roses planted and we still got about maybe 11 more. But some of them are going to go in pots. The ones that I guess, I don't know, it's a couple of them. I just ordered one and I'm like, why did you just order one? It was a couple of them that had, as soon as I put them in the ground, y'all, you could see the leaves. You can see the rose petals. It's like they loved it because I put just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit of compost, the soil 3 in here. And then I put just a little bit of rose tone, and then they just started to bloom. And I took y'all's, I put the question out. This moonlight in Paris is Yeah, it don't look good now, but it really looked pretty. But I took y'all advice. So what I'm trying to do with the ones that I knew what the tag was is, so this row up here starts out like white. So it's going to be an ombre effect like we talked about. So it's like a white up to a soft pink. I have this one right here because that's one of the Eustacia Vise. That's like one of my favorite. That's the one they're going to replace. And then this goes from like white to pink, um, to a medium pink, and then I'm gonna do one more row, and that's gonna be where the dark pink and like the dark reds are, like the Darcy Bustle. So this is what it's looking like. And again, if I was smart, which I am, I should get out here and just plant um maybe those dark ones right there and really see what I have left, because I don't want to go back too far, for the simple fact we're in the fall and the winter. So it's no leaves on the trees, the ones that are deciduous. And so you're getting more sunshine, but you got to think that when the leaf during the spring and the summer, leaves come back and it's going to shade it a little bit. But I've been watching this area pretty much from the time I've gotten it up until now. And so this really gets a good block of sun, even with the surrounding trees. So this is going to be the rose garden area. I don't know if I want to have a seating area, and I am going to come out a little bit, just a little bit. Did I already do it, y'all? No, I didn't. I didn't. I said I was going to come out maybe right here so that I can get some more roses planted. So I'll just step back a little bit, and most of them get about 3 to 4 feet in height, um, and maybe about 3 to 4 feet in width. But I'm hoping that it doesn't block the pathways where I can just walk down and then walk down the very middle. Now I'm going to use some of the weed fabric down the middle. And we're still working on that, but just the fact that I've got some in the ground, that is a win for me. I wanted to show y'all Pollinator Island, where some of the plants have started to bloom, especially I think this was like banana cream daisy, I want to say. It's really starting to come to life, and I was able to save a couple of the salvias except for one. This one right here, it checked out. But I am going to come in, do a little bit of work on this, and probably in the springtime, just cut some things back. I'll trim it up still, but it's doing really good. This is the perennial garden where once it gets established, it'll be okay. But we just got to get it established. And these wild onions continue to pop up, so I have to come in and just kind of dig them up with my hand trowel. And then we have the blanket flower and the false indigo, and the penstemon actually came back, which I'm happy about because I really felt like they were going to check out. I still have not. So the garden centers now have a new design for their bird baths, and they're not deep anymore. And so I think I'm gonna have to find a place in the Atlanta area where, you know how the people make the the what do you call it, the garden things out of cement themselves, and I'll just have to do it that way. One more thing before we go, y'all, and we are gonna wrap it up. I'm just gonna walk and talk with y'all. So the tea plants, they got some blooms on them. They look really good. I did buy one pink lemonade blueberry bush to replace. I am going to cut some of these blackberries back soon. That's why I'm pausing. And a lot of my strawberries are supposed to go over here with the wind blowing and me not putting the pine straw on them. They're growing, but I have this paper right here that's supposed to be biodegradable that I have to re-put on here and make sure I put the pine straw back on there. But the blooms on these rose plants are really nice. So we got to do a little bit of work We got to do a little bit of work in this area. Right here, I just wanted to show y'all the blooms on here. So pretty. Something is biting me. Okay, so let's walk back up really quick, y'all, and then we are going to end this video because I want to show you the status of the container garden, not the container garden, but the container plants that we just did. So this was I'll tell y'all the name in a minute because I remember sticking it right here. So I'm going to try to link the video because one of the things I said is, did I want them all one plant or did I want to alternate them? So we alternate them by doing this one right here. And they've really come into life because at first they were looking a little down and out. So we got this and then we alternated it. And we've been doing our in-ground beds as well, but I just got a mulch in this area. I want to see if this salvia is going to make it through the winter because we had this one where the roses were and on the tag it said it was an annual. And so I want to see if this particular variety is going to come back. But we followed this with strawberries. Our pansies had been up under attack. So you see, I got our sluggo in here. And this is the name. This is sorbet icy blue. So we just alternated sorbet icy blue and the strawberry plants. And then we went ahead and we've planted these right here. I tell you, I'm just really disappointed in these pests and the way they keep doing. And our container, I'm going to cut this salvia back too, but the bonbon calendula and this one, see, they've been attacking this one as well. But that's all part of gardening, y'all. I keep telling y'all, the pests know the good stuff, and so they're going to use that to their advantage. Okay, and here's just the containers on the patio, and the pineapple is one. I don't know, I might put my frost blanket on it. It says it's going to be 33, but it's other factors that play into that as well. I'm going to decide, y'all. I'll decide. But the one red pineapple that I got is already sending up a stalk. I know that I'm going to pull that one in because I really want to see that one. I'm going to show y'all real quick, and then I'm going to end. But this is the patio container that we planted. It's starting to do a whole lot better. Remember, this was the Liren choy that we planted, and I really had to work on this too with the diatomaceous earth, with the sluggo. I can tell you for this area right here, this is about the most we've had. I think my main issue is the slugs. Like, they're everywhere. They don't show their face, but the other day I was out here and they were just like crawling up this pineapple container right here. They're really horrible. Really horrible. And so this is the status of that. We'll probably change these hanging baskets out to put some pansies in those, but I've really enjoyed this petunia. Let me show you real quick the red. Y'all, what is going on with these lizards? It's like they had a batch of babies. Like, I'm looking at one on the rake right now, just on there. I've been seeing them all over. And my dad is like, yeah, that's why the snakes come. And I'm like, don't say that word. But let me show you the red. Let me just show you the red pineapple real quick. Now look. You see, it's two of them. And they just took, and they look kind of, these look different. Maybe I'm looking at them from the side. Look, are they, I don't know if it's a boy and a girl or, oh, what's going on? The bee flew in my face. But I'm just like, I've been seeing so many. I wonder, nuh-uh, this one looked like, I don't know what they look like when they have babies. But this one don't look like the other ones I've been seeing. Y'all look. Do you think they're courting? Okay, I'm about to mind my business. Do y'all see them? They're courting. Yeah. And then let me go. Y'all, come on, let's go look at this pineapple. Let's go look at the pineapple. Finna for real mind my business. But let me tell you, so I know that they changed colors, but this brown one right here, so it opened its mouth like really wide. And so the green was like, get away from me. So she, I don't know, then jumped to this one, this rake right here. And now his throat is out. Y'all know how they make like the big throat. I know this is not an animal class, But look at his throat. Do y'all see it? Yeah, I don't know how they do or what they do, but I know he catching her. It's like she trying to slowly get away from him. Like, go head on and go about your business. And he keep on with his, oh God, now they're winning my oregano. Okay, let's go see the pineapple. This too much for me. On our way to the pineapple. After these bloom, y'all, I am really going to spray for spider mites. These blooms were really pretty when they started, but the spider mites and like just the dead branches, I do not like. And so I'm going to give it one more go. I'm going to give it one more go. I'm going to spray them real good. And if not, somebody going to have to come and pull them up. And I mean, pull it all up. But if you remember our heather that we planted earlier this year is doing phenomenal. It is. And I want to see if it's going to go through the winter season because I've talked to some people at the garden center and they're like, yeah, mine comes back every year. It had like between 10 and 20 degrees. But this would be something that I would love to just continue to keep right here if it does. It does attract pollinators, but even when we're sitting like on the patio, it's not to where, people are fighting the bees. So we'll see about that. So this is the red pineapple that we got on clearance. And do you see how it's sending up the pineapple right here? So I'm gonna move this in because I definitely don't want to lose that one. And the one that's in the pot, I might just cover it up real good with the frost blanket. But and I'll keep an eye on the temperature. But let me tell y'all this. I'm looking at some of my plants because some of them got real leggy and I just really don't think I'm going to be able to use it. And I'm just like, oh, that was a waste. It was a total waste. Not a lot, but enough to be like, it was a waste. But remember our containers that we planted. I just want to show y'all that. So the whites are starting to look good. The Dusty Millers are starting to look good. I'm monitoring the growth of it because remember this one has the trees over it. Some of the red ones are starting to bloom a little bit. I had a few the other day that I saw. And then this one over here. So they're doing really good and they're coming on with new blooms. I have right in the truck, y'all. I got the mulch. I just got to put it on it. So that's what I'm talking about with different things that I need to do. Okay, so I'm going to keep y'all posted because once again, what did I say at the beginning? Oh, no, it's not going to be long at all. But I just want to share and show y'all so much of what I'm doing. And I still got a lot to do and a lot to plant. Some things may overwinter. Some things may just have to stay in the pot, just depending on how the weather goes, the time goes. I'm going to try to go out here and do a few things that I said I wanted to get done. So as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you share this video with your family and your friends. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, tap the subscribe button. Make sure you tap the bell so that you can receive notification each and every time we upload a new video. Again, thank you all so much for watching. And until the next video, bye-bye.